My name is Mrs. Anderson, and I am joined by Mrs. Corcoran, or Miss Corcoran, I should say. And we are going to be your teachers when you come to reception in September, which is really exciting. Obviously, in normal times, you would have been able to come and visit the school and get to know us, and we would have got to know you. Unfortunately, that hasn't been able to happen. So we thought we would make this video so that we could get to tell you a couple of things we need to tell you, and also you can get to know us a little bit. So I thought we would start with a task. Now, this task is a task that we're going to ask you to do when you come into reception in September. So listen carefully so you pick up exactly what you need to do. Now, the task is called What's in the Box? And as you can see on the screen, there's a picture of a box. And as you can see just here, I've got my own box. Now, inside this box, I have put a couple of things, well, 3 things, that let you know a little bit about me, what I like to do, and about my life. And when you come into the reception, this is exactly what we would like you to do. We would like you to put some things in a box, decorate it, colour in the outside, make it exactly how you want. And then you're going to share it with the class and with your teachers, and we will be able to find out a little bit about you. So first I'm going to go through my box, and then Miss Corcoran's going to go through her box. So my box, let's see what I've got. I've got 3 things. Now the first thing I have is, I'm going to take it all out so I can get the bottom one, is a picture. Now, this picture is very important to me because it is one of my favourite pictures. I'll show you very close. And in this picture, it's a picture of me, my sister, my mum and my dad. And we're on holiday together. And I chose this picture because my family are really important to me. They're always there to listen to me. I can laugh with them. I can cry with them. My mum always helps me whenever I have a problem. And without my family, I don't really know what I'd do. So I thought I'd put my family in my box. My second item, which is linked to the picture, because as you can see, where are we? My second item are some shells. Now, I love the beach. I love playing in the sand, swimming in the sea, looking for shells, just being in the sun. And I love being on holiday. After working really hard and doing all the things I need to do, I absolutely love to be able to go on holiday and relax. And my third item is a little bit naughty. I've got a mug, but inside the mug, I've got a biscuit, because I like to have a cup of tea and a biscuit when I'm feeling a little bit down, or I've got lots of work to do, or it might just be Sunday afternoon and I'm sitting on the sofa watching a film. So my third item is a mug and a biscuit. And after the video, I'm going to eat this one. Shh. Okay, so that's my box. So I'm going to pass over to Miss Corcoran now, who's going to share her box.
So my box is a little bit different. You sort of gives us a little clue at one of the things that I like, or 2 of the things that I like, because you can see it's a Lego box and it's also a marble box. Now, 2 of my favourite things are building Lego buildings or Lego objects, but even more, one of my favourite things is marbles. I love everything to do with marbles. So in my box, I've continued with the marble theme, and I've got my WandaVision model from the latest Marvel, because I found it was brilliant to fall in and find out what was going to happen in the latest Marvel series. But another favourite thing of mine is football. Now, I couldn't quite fit a football in my box, so I've got my favourite football shirt. And my favourite football shirt is my Liverpool one, and I am Liverpool mad. So much so, I support any country in the current Euros that has a Liverpool player in the back. So Friday is going to be a bit tricky. My last thing in my box, just like Mrs. Anderson's got, is some Pringles, because I love having a snack towards the end of a day. So they're the things that I found that's sort of are some of my favourite things, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys bring in September.
Amazing. I also really like Pringles, so we'll be sharing some of those.
No problem.
So now we just wanted to let you know a couple of things about the school day. Obviously, things are going to be a little bit different. You've been in nursery, but now you're starting school, and we wanted to run through the day and then tell you a couple of things you could do to prepare for the day. Not for the day, for arriving in reception, sorry. So the first slide here is all about the school day. Now, the school day, obviously, if you have had children at the school this year, or you might know that the start and finish times have been a bit different because of COVID. Now, we're hoping to go back to normal next year, and the new normal will be that there will be a 15-minute window for you to drop your children off at school. And that, as you can see on the top line, is between 8:45 a.m. and 9 a.m. Okay, anytime between there, you can come into the classroom. Children, we really encourage children to come in independently. This word independent is a big word and something you should start working on with your children as soon as you can throughout the summer. Just getting them to do things on their own, put away their toys, tidy up their bowl after dinner, lots of things to be independent. So they'll come into the classroom independently. They'll put their coat and their book bag on their peg. Next to their peg will be a name. They will choose, they will take their name from the peg, and then they will go and use this to self-register and choose their lunch. There are always 4 options when we have our lunch. There is a meat, a vegetarian, usually a jacket potato, or you can have home packed lunch, which you can bring in. Your child will see a picture of what's on offer that day, and then will place their name in the box relating to what they want to eat. And that's it. And Mr. Corcoran?
So there's going to be snack available both in morning sessions and the afternoon sessions, where they will be encouraged, if they have a piece of fruit, and it will be fruit, to take their name from their pot and put it in, just so we can keep into another pot, just so we can keep an eye on who is choosing to have snacks. And there will also be milk available, but you have to order that through the office. And then home time, as it says there, is 3:05 p.m.
Yeah, so 3:05, that will be both reception classes, which is a bit different to this year. If you obviously have had siblings, both reception classes will finish at 3:05 on every day. Yes, so on to the next slide. Reception, we learn very differently to year 1 to year 6. A lot of our learning is through play, and you've probably heard this through Miss Malone's video, where she's probably spoken about the 7 areas of development. So a lot of the children's learning will start as child-initiated learning, and this will be where the children are exploring and playing with their friends in the classroom. There will be different areas with different things for the children to do, and in that play, we will cover the 7 areas of communication and language, physical development, personal, social and emotional development, literacy, maths, understanding the world, and expressive arts and design. There will also be adult-led sessions throughout the day, so they will get a phonics session, they will read books, stories, they will have a maths session, and as we get throughout the year towards year 1, there will be more adult-led learning than at the beginning of the year. So what does your child need to bring to school? They need a water bottle with just plain water from the tap in, no juice or squash, please. They need a book bag or a bag of some sort to carry things to school, and then to take home their reading book when they eventually get one, or any notes or anything the teacher might want to send home. They will need a raincoat and wellies. Now, preferably these should be able to stay at school. We understand if the welly boots need to go back home on the weekend and then come back. But if it is raining, they will need to put their wellies and their raincoat on. And the doors will be open to go inside or outside, rain or shine. So they will need something to keep them dry if it is raining. And then, as you can see there, there's a hat, and that's just for the summer term, just making sure that they have a hat, please, because recently, over the last few days, it's been very boiling hot, and it's just obviously safety for them to have their hat on. And then please, can I ask that all the things you do bring into school, including their uniform and their jumpers and their coats, please can you make sure they're named? You can either write the name in, sew it in, but just a little name so we know that if they lose it, who it belongs to.
So come September, you'll have access to a Google Classroom for each of the classes. And on the Google Classroom, you'll have home learning will be shared there weekly. So there'll be different activities for you to have a go at. Any class announcements may come from there as well. There will also be a weekly phonics video posted, and that's sharing what your child has learned in phonics that week. But your logins will be sent to you over the next few months, probably. And that's just a place to keep regularly checking just to see if anything's been put on there.
Love. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we now just would like to talk through a couple of things you can do to get your child ready to start in September. Now, I have previously on the first slide, I mentioned the word independence. Now, this is a big thing. When the children come into school, we like them to be able to be as independent as possible. So as I said, throughout the summer, please do practice, get your child to practice putting away their own toys, getting your child to practice putting their socks on and off, putting their coat on and off, just being as independent as possible. Another thing that your child can do to get ready for school will be to practice reading and writing their name. Now, this is really important, mainly because the first day they come in, they will have their name on their peg. Obviously, we are there to help them find it, but it would be really good if they could find that name themselves, feel independent, and put that in the box to choose their lunch. So over summer, just lots and lots of reading the name and writing your name. Now, your child could write their name in flour, in glitter. In that picture, they're doing rainbow writing with lots of different colours. They could write it in sand, and lots of different ways just to get them used to forming those letters and knowing which order they go in.
Yeah. So another thing that's really important for them to have a go at over the summer is getting dressed and undressed. So putting on their jumpers by themselves, putting their socks and shoes on by themselves, just making sure they've had lots of chance to practice getting dressed and undressed, because it can take them quite a lot of time sometimes. And it can be quite disheartening if they find it a bit tricky. But if they've had lots of practice before coming to school, they can get ready nice and quickly.
And can I just add to that point, just practicing coats, please. So just making sure you're practicing taking your coat off and on, and making sure you're practicing taking the sleeves, turning them the right way around if they are inside out. All these things will really help you to become more independent in class. So another thing you can do to get ready for your reception, and this might sound like a funny one, is to do lots of climbing. Okay, this might be climbing a climbing frame, it might be a climbing wall, it might be climbing a tree, obviously all safely, but climbing helps the muscles to develop in your shoulders and your upper arms, and it strengthens your wrists. And this eventually will help when we come to writing. Having strong muscles up here will allow you to form your letters correctly and make it easier for you to progress with your handwriting through reception. So what I would like you to do is just lots and lots of climbing. Hopefully the summer will be nice and warm and you can be outside at the park. So practicing as much as you can.
Another good idea to do over the summer is to play lots of board games with your children. And this is important because it helps build the strategies of taking turns and sharing and realizing it can't just all be so sharing and turn taking. And I think you were just trying to say that these are very, very important things to come into reception with. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So in terms of reading, that's a really important thing you can be practicing at home. Now, obviously, I'm aware that your children They might be reading short books and short words and sentences, or they might not be. What I mean by reading is sharing stories. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to just share a story every night. Story, talk about what's happening, talk about the characters. Do they like the story? Do they not like the story? Why do they like the story? This will help their language to develop, and also a love for reading, which we would, if they came into reception with a love for reading, it would be wonderful. One good way to help to read or to help children develop a love for reading is by echo reading. And this is a good strategy where you would just read the page, and then your child would just read it back to you exactly like you've read it. So you might use expression, you might use volume, pace, and then your child can read it back. And it's a really lovely way to share a story. So yeah, as much reading as possible, please.
And the last thing we got on this slide is talking. So it's really important that you are talking with your child as much as possible. It's another key development for them is with their language, is making sure they have the opportunity to talk all about what they notice around them, what they can see, what they've done, what they're going to do in the future. Any sort of talking and taking turns within talking too is really important in their development and getting ready for reception.
Yep, so those are 6 things that you can do over the summer to prepare to come to reception. Important dates. Important dates. So obviously, come September, we are hoping to be able to do home visits where we'll come to your house and we'll meet you and play with you in your house and see where you live, and you can show us all your toys, and it will be amazing. And then we're also hoping to do settling in sessions where you'll come into school for 2 afternoons or 2 mornings, just so you are aware of the classroom, you get to know the classroom, the routines before you start in September. Now, obviously, this might change depending on COVID. So please do keep checking your emails and making sure that you know the most up-to-date information. And I think the only other thing to add is that there will be a follow-up video. Later this term, we will release another video where we will just remind you of the strategies, and then we'll tell you the class name and some key words you can be focusing on over the summer. Okay, the last thing I'm going to say is just please check your emails, because as I said, hopefully things don't change, but you never know in this day and age. So please do check your emails just to keep up to date. And other than that, please do send any questions in. I'm sure Miss Malone has said please do get your questions in at some point, I think by the end of next week, and then we'll try and answer those in our next video. Other than that, I can't wait to meet you in September. I'm sure, Mrs. Corcoran, you're the same.
Yeah, I am. Can't wait. See you soon.
And we will see you soon.